Hey there folks, welcome to my 3x3 beginner level tutorial. In this tutorial I will show you how to solve a 3x3 in 5 easy steps. Step 1, we will solve for the white cross. And why we do this, it will become obvious as I go through the tutorial. And step 2, we will complete the bottom layer. Here we have a completed face here, and notice that the bottom layer here is all organized. In step 3, I will show you how to keep the bottom layer but also organize the middle layer. Notice we have 2 layers here that are completely organized. In step 4, I will show you how to keep the bottom layer, middle layer, and also have the top face be completely flush. And then in step 5, I will show you how to complete the Rubik's Cube so that it is solved. Great. So let's rewind and start on phase 1. We are going to make the white cross. Now, what I'd like to point out is that I assume that your cube has this particular configuration. If blue is facing you, yellow is facing up, white is facing down, orange is left, right is right, and green is back. Now, if you don't have this particular configuration, this tutorial might be a little confusing because I'm going to be assuming that mostly yellow is going to be your top and white is going to be your down face. Now, also, maybe you have trouble solving a Rubik's Cube and you tried a lot of tutorials and you can never seem to get there. That might be because you have taken your cube apart. You've taken a piece off and you've put it back in a different way. That can make the cube impossible to solve. Also, I know people somehow twist corners. That will also make the cube likely impossible to solve. So if you are finding problems solving your cube, you might want to think back if you've ever taken it apart. And in that case, you probably want to disassemble it and then put it back into a solved state. Now, one more thing, because this tutorial is actually part of a Rubik's Cube solving app, that is CubeSnap. And so it not only does 3x3, but it does 2x2, 3x3, 4x4 void, and the pyramids. And so what's nice about this is if you're learning and you kind of are frustrated and you just want to solve it, this can act as a backup. All right, so no more talking about my app. Let's get to solving. Great. Okay, so what are we going to do? The first thing we want to do is look at the side with the yellow center. Okay, and then what we want to do is make sure that we can, or attempt to get a white square on all the edges. So right here, right here, right here, and right here. Okay, this is the first part of making the white cross. Okay, so you may notice that we already have one in there. So let's look for some other ones. I'm going to go here. I notice there's one here in the bottom, and I want it to go up here. That's easy enough. What do? I just turn it twice. Bam. So we have one here and one here. We need to find one to go here and one to go here. All right, let's look around. Okay, so we have one that is right here, and we want to get it right here. So what do? We just move this face up, and voila. We just need one more. And the last one is here, and we want to put it there. So we're just going to move that up. And there we go. We've kind of done the first part of the first step. Now, I didn't necessarily cover every single situation. There are some situations that might be a little more complicated. So let's try this. So for instance, let's say we have a piece here, and we want to move it here. What you can do, actually, what you can do is just you need to make sure that you put this into a placement where in the next step it can go here. So we're going to go ahead and turn it, keeping our eyes on this, and then we can put it here. Great. Sometimes it's a little tricky. Let's say we have a configuration like this. So we have our 3 here, but we have 1 left down here, and we want to put it here. So how are we going to do that? Well, let's see. So let's go ahead and put it in a position where it can go up top. So I'm going to turn it like this. And now it's in a position where it can go up top. But oops, there's already one there. And we don't want to remove this one or replace it. That doesn't do us any good. Then we'll just have 3, 3, 3. We want to have 4 up here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what you want to do, it's really simple. Just put this one that we want to replace in the spot that this one's going to go, and then move it up. Simple as that. I think that covered pretty much all the situations, and hopefully you found that helpful. But we still haven't made our white cross quite yet. So what we want to do now is match up the companion color to the white edge piece with the center. In this particular case, it's already matched up. So then once you have that, you want to move these white pieces down to what's eventually going to be the white side. See? So we have our first leg of our cross. So let's continue doing that. Let's see what we got. We have a green. Where's green? It's on the opposite side. Okay. So I just turned the top twice there, and now it's matched up to its center. And now what do? We just send it down to the bottom. All right. Now we have two of the legs of our cross. Now we just have 2 more to do. Here we have blue. Let's go ahead and turn it this way. I know the blue's this way. And then what do? We turn it down to the bottom. And now we have 3 of the legs of our white cross. What's nice is if you match up here, you won't necessarily mess up what's going down here. So this is a really good beginner way, really methodical way to kind of have success and to make it easy for yourself. All right, so the last one, it's already matched up. We have the orange, and then we move it down to the bottom. All right, and what do we have? We have our white cross. And the white cross is when we have our 4 whites here, when it's also matched, when its companion color is also matched with the center. And there. So we have completed step 1. And I hope you're able to follow this, because if you've gotten to this phase, you are well on your way to solving your cube. Thanks. And keep watching for step 2. Hey there folks, welcome to part 2 of my 3x3 beginner tutorial for solving the Rubik's Cube. In the last phase we made a white cross. In this phase we're going to complete the bottom layer. So what that means is that we need to fill in these bottom corner pieces and make sure they're oriented correctly. We have 4 corner pieces we need to place. And so what we're interested in are corner pieces. Those are pieces with 3 colors, and one is going to be white. And then we want to find where to put it. So let's just keep our eyes on this green, red, and white one. All right. So what we want to do, if you have a white piece facing you, that is because the white is facing down and the yellow is facing up. If you have a white piece facing you, it's going to be really easy to put that piece where it needs to go. But what you need to do is find that other piece, that other color that's facing you, right? So if you can turn it and this other color is facing you, you want to match that color up with its center. So right now it's green and blue. We want to have green and green. So we got to find the green side. There's the green side. All right. Now what we're going to do here is we have our green, red, and white corner piece, but we want this piece to be down here. Notice it's the green. We have the green side, the red side, and the white side. So how do we get this piece down here? It is so easy. All right, here's what you do. All right. And then you're going to move this top face so that now you've matched up this corner piece down with the part of that what used to be the white cross, and then you go down. Look at that. That was so easy. That was just 3 moves. All right, and so what we have now is we still have our cross, but we've put this corner piece where it needs to go. Wasn't that easy? That was really easy. And I think if you think to yourself, you would have been like, I could have figured that out if I had long enough time. So we're not going to call that one of our complicated algorithms. We're going to call that intuitive. All right. So now let's find some more white pieces that are facing us. Are there any? All right. We got this one. And it's already matched up with its center. So here we have the blue, red, and white piece we need. Here it's blue, red, and white. And we're going to do the exact same thing. All right, this is fun. So let's do it again. Move that side up. Then move this top face towards you. So you're going to have that matching, that edge piece, and then move it back down. Look at that. We are almost done. We got our green, red, and white, and we got our blue, red, and white. Fun, huh? Okay, so we got to get these last 2. We have a piece here that we could kind of move in easily, but I want to show you a different case. I want to show you what happens when it's down here. All right, what are we going to do? Well, you know what? It's going to be almost exactly what we just did. Adjust this piece so the white is facing us, but it's up here. And this is how you do it. So you move it up like this. Instead of moving this piece towards you, you want to move it kind of a center away from you there. So, and then you want to go back down. You want to put this piece back down where it was. And now it's facing you. Cool, huh? And not only is it facing you, it's already matching its center. Okay, so now it's on the right side, not the left side. So this is what you do when it's on the right side. You just kind of move this piece away from you, then you bring it back towards you. Notice we just created a nice little white line here. And then easy enough, you just put that back down on the bottom. So easy. Cool, huh? All right, so then we just have one more case, or one more piece to deal with, and that is the orange, green, and white. All right, so what do we do? To yourself, you're saying, hurry up, dude. You make it go to the orange side. Very good. So the orange side is facing you, and the white side, again, is facing this way. And then what we're going to do, I think you know, this. Then bring it back towards you. We have this beautiful white line here, which is then going to go on the bottom. And what do you know? We've completed the bottom layer. Isn't that great? Really cool, huh? Okay, let's say that you had a white piece facing up. I didn't tell you what to do in that case. And you want to get this piece down here. What do? It's very simple. It looks very much like what we've been doing. And remember that our goal is to get this white piece facing us. So we're going to move this piece this way, and then we're going to move it this way, move the top that way, and then we want to move these 2 back down to where they were. And what you may notice now is we have a white piece that is facing us. So what do? We take that companion piece and we find its center. Excellent, it's right over where it needs to go. And we do that move that we love. And there you go. We got our bottom layer done. Okay, now there's one more situation I want to show you about. What if you have a white piece down here, but it's not in the right spot? This doesn't belong here. This actually belongs over here. Notice we have the orange, blue, and white. This is totally in the wrong spot. How do we get it out of this spot without screwing everything up? Well, you know what? It's going to look a lot like what we've been doing. We're going to move this up so that it's, facing us. Get it out of the way. And then we're going to move these two back down to where they belong. And then we are good to go. You may notice now it's facing us, and it's even matching its center now. So easy, right? Let's go and do it. Our beautiful white line there, back down, perfect. Now let's do this last one again. Just for good measure, you know what? The white piece is facing us, so no problem. So what's its companion color? It's red. Match it up with its center. And what do? Move it away from us. Then we move it towards us, creating this beautiful white line, and back down. And there you go. We've completed the bottom layer. I think this covers all of you guys. And keep watching to see how to now complete step 3 or phase 3, which is complete the middle layer. So we're going to keep our bottom layer perfect, and then we're going to complete this middle layer. So keep watching for that. All right, welcome to part 3 of my beginner level Rubik's Cube tutorial. All right, in part 2, we completed the bottom layer. Hope you're still with us, hope you're able to do that. Now we are moving on to the middle layer. So at the end of this phase, we're gonna have our bottom layer still intact, but we're also gonna have our middle layer all organized. Awesome, so let's go ahead and do it. All right, get that out of the way. So, what do we have to do to complete our middle layer? Well, we already have our center pieces where they belong, obviously, but what we need to do is find those edge pieces and put them in the right spot. All right, so one thing to note is that yellow is our top, so eventually this is all going to be yellow. So we're not interested in pieces that have yellow on them, because they're going to be up here, not here. So we're interested in pieces that do not have yellow. So let's look for them. All right, here's one. It's blue and red. Where will the blue and red edge piece go? Well, we have our red side here, and we have our blue side here. It's going to go right here. All right, so what do? Well, the good news is there's very little else you have to learn that you haven't already learned in the kind of previous steps. But there's just kind of one thing you got to remember. So here's what we're going to do. So we're already lined up. You want to line this piece up with its center. But then, to get it over here, you want to move this top face this way. And then, we want to get this piece kicked out. All right? It doesn't belong there. All right, so what do? You move this side up, you kick this piece out of the way by turning it this way, and then put these back where they belong. Okay, so very good. We've kicked that piece out, but oops, still don't have the right piece in there, and we also ruined our little bottom layer. Oops. So what do? Well, we got to put this one back. So how do we put it back? If you remember, you have to take this color here, again, the white's here, match it up with its center, and then do what we always do. Up, move that away from us, move it towards us. We have our beautiful white line, and then down. Wait. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. The blue and red piece found its way in the right spot. And the reason it did that is because we placed it correctly and before we started kicking stuff out and putting it back together. So that's why you want to do that little beginner step where you move the piece away from its center. All right? But you also may note that we didn't learn anything new so much. We just learned how to kick a piece out and then put it back the way we've kind of already learned. And then the right piece just kind of ends up in the right spot. Cool, huh? So let's try it with another piece. All right, we have a red and green. So I'm going to match up the red with its center and the green up here. Again, we're not interested in those yellow pieces. So we want this piece to go over here. We have our red and green side, so obviously it's going to go right there. So we're going to move it away from the green side. All right? And then we're going to do what we did last time. We're going to kick that piece out and then put it back, those two where they belong. Again, we kicked off our corner piece, but when we put it back to where it belongs, right? We know what to do. Green with the green center, the white facing this way. We're placing this back down where it belongs. When you move it up, it's matched to that piece you want, and you just move it down this way, and we make our beautiful white line, and then it goes down. And look, it's placed exactly where we want it. Hope you're able to follow that. I don't think it's that hard, and I don't think we really learned much new. We're just using techniques that we already knew. All right, let's continue. What else do we got? All right, we have a piece here we could place, but I want to show you what to do when we have a corner piece that does not have a yellow on it, but it's already in a edge spot. So what do? We're just going to kick it out, and then we're going to fix our corner. All right. So what do we do to kick it out? We move this up, kick it out of the way. Now it's here instead of there, and we move this back down. Well, darn it, we screwed up our bottom again, but easily fixable. We'll just match our blue up with our center, right, with the white here, and we'll do what we always do. Move that away, then move it back towards us, creating our beautiful white line, and back down. All right. So in that case, it's not going to magically show up there, but now we're in a good situation where we can have it show up there. So let's go ahead and find our orange and blue piece. It's hanging out right here. Let's go ahead and match the orange up with its center. Again, we want it to go here. So for it to go here, we have to do our little beginner step and just move it away. Get it over here. All right? So now we need to go ahead and kick this piece out by doing our normal move. Back down. And then, you know what? We have to fix our corner. So let's go ahead and fix it. How do we fix it? You know exactly what to do. You take this piece, match it up with its center. Again, with our white over here. We want to go down here. And we do our move it away from you, move the top back towards you, creating our beautiful wide line, and back down. Excellent. So now we have our three edges there. All right, so now we need to find our green and our orange. This is green and yellow. This is going to belong up there, not here. But I found our green and our orange. It's right here, hanging out kind of where we need it. Again, we're putting it here. So, duh, you got to move it away. And now we start our little sequence. Kick this guy out. Back down. Get those white back down where they belong. And now we need to put our corner piece where it belongs because we broke it again. All right. Matching its center. Really easy. Think back to the second phase where we're creating our bottom layer. Just there we go. Then bring it back towards us. There's that white line again, and back down. So this is the end of part 3. We created our bottom layer and our middle layer. And then in the next phase, I'm going to teach you how to get all of these to be yellow, keeping the middle layer and bottom layer intact. So I hope you continue watching. And the next part will be part 4. Hey there, welcome to step 4 of my beginner's level 3x3 tutorial. In step 3, you learned how to complete the middle layer, keeping the bottom layer intact. Hopefully you're still with me. In this step, we are going to turn the yellow side, the top face, completely yellow, a solid yellow face. And to do this, it's really kind of a paint by number strategy. And how this is going to work is that you're going to look for certain patterns of yellow on the top, and based on that pattern, you're going to do an algorithm, and I'm going to show you. I'm not only going to show you live and in person here, but I'll also kind of illustrate it here in this tutorial, showing you each move in a clear illustrated step. Okay, so I can move this out. Now, what are the patterns that we're interested in? Okay. The first pattern we're interested in is just a single yellow dot. Also, an L. And when I say L, go ahead and orient the cube so that the L is facing this way. Now I group these together because this will have the same algorithm. Okay. Now the next category is a bar. Don't worry about this, just look for a bar. And if there's a bar, there's a particular algorithm for this. Okay. The next category is the cross. And the cross is easy to identify. You see a nice cross here. Also, a variant of the cross is this cross, but it's also a fish pattern. You can see the head and these two little tails here. These two have the same algorithm. There's a particular little rule here you need to follow, but otherwise it's the same algorithm. All right, so, and eventually the goal is to go from something like this, to this, to this, then to this. So you might use all three algorithms, you might use one, you might use two. Let's see what happens. Okay, so let's focus on these two. Okay, if you see just a single dot or an L, here's what you do, and I'll do it for both of them. All right, I'm just going to show you, and then I'll illustrate right after I do it. Okay, so what this did is it turned it into the L pattern. Okay, so here we have an L pattern. Go ahead and ignore these, but we have our L. And we're going to do the exact same algorithm as we did with the dot. So we'll see what that looks like. All right, now we have a cross. Because we kind of skipped from L to cross, I didn't get the chance to tell you about the bar algorithm. So this is what the bar algorithm looks like. And make sure that the bar is facing this way when you do it. Okay? So you do this. Okay, now it looks like we have a cross. We don't have the fishy pattern. That looks like this, but we do have a cross. Okay, when we have a cross, here's what I want you to do. I want you to find a non-yellow color. Green will do. And I want you to kind of hold it like this. So if you have something that looks like this, I don't want you to hold it like this because this color is yellow. I'd want you to hold it like this because this color is not yellow. This would also be fine. This would also be fine, but not this. Okay? And the side I'm talking about is the right side here. Make sure this is not yellow. So we're going to go back here to the green. Okay? And here's the algorithm when you have a cross. Okay? In this case, we still have a cross, so we're going to try it again. All right? Now let's make sure we don't have yellow. All right? We got this orange here, it's not yellow, so we're good to go. All right, look what I found. I found my fishy. And when you have a fishy, that means you are so close to this. All right, so we have our little fishy here. Here's the nose and here's the tail. This will use the exact same algorithm as the cross, but in this case, you want to make sure that you find that little yellow piece and turn on that side. Now, in this case, the fish is kind of facing left. So that means this little yellow piece is on the right. It may be that the fish is facing right. In that case, then the yellow piece would be on the left. And I'll illustrate how to do both those cases for you. But in this case, it's facing left, and here's our little yellow piece. So we're interested in this side here. Okay? So we're going to do the exact same algorithm, again, with our yellow piece facing us right here. And we're going to do this. And look at that. We have our solid yellow face. Easy enough. All right, just to be as helpful as I can, here's the example of the fishy facing right, and our little yellow piece here is on the left. So here's what we do when it's on the left. We go like this. And again, see, the fish always leads us to our solid yellow face. Hopefully you were able to follow that, and if you were, that means that you still have your bottom layer intact, your middle layer, and your top layer is completely yellow. Keep watching for step 5 to see how to finish this thing up. Hey there, welcome to step 5 of my Rubik's Cube beginner level 3x3 tutorial. In this section, we are going to learn how to finish up the cube to make it look like this so that it's completely solved. Excellent. Okay, so in the last phases, we got our first layer, our middle layer, and we also have our completely yellow top face. So that means we just got to work on this layer here and get it all organized. Easy enough. Okay, so what do we do? All right, there are 2 algorithms you need to learn, and again, I'll show it to you here live, and then I'll try to give you a very cool little illustration after I do it on this tutorial. Okay, so what you want to first look for is if you have these corners here, if any of them match each other, say red and red, or green and blue, or red or orange and orange. It looks like none of them match each other. Also, it would be nice if maybe all 3 colors are the same. Because in this case, we don't have anything that's matching, what that means is it doesn't really matter which orientation we do our algorithm. So I'm just going to do it like this. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're actually going to point the bottom side towards you. It should be all white. And you're going to do this algorithm. All right. All right, now let's get it back so the top is facing us. All right, so now let's look around and see what we have. It looks like that we have blue and blue that are matched. So why don't we go ahead and put that with the blue side here. And then when doing the algorithm again, we want to make sure that the most organized side is facing away from us. Okay, so it's facing away from us with the yellow on top. And now we're going to try it again. All right, same thing. Notice that we still have our completely white face and that our bottom layer and middle layer are all still intact. But now what you may notice is that it's getting a lot more organized here up top. All right, so now it looks like every single side here is organized to some degree. This is matching that, that's matching that. This is matching, this is matching, this is matching. Now normally I think what you'd find is that at least one, you would find at least one side where it maybe be all green or all red. In that case, that hasn't happened for us. We're not that lucky. But we are done with our last algorithm and we are on with the final one. So here's what you do. Let's go ahead and match up our colors. So here we have red and blue. Orange and orange are matching their center. So the only thing that's misplaced are these edge pieces here. Okay? So let's go ahead and do the new algorithm here. That's going to fix everything. All right, we're not quite done yet, but what you'll notice is that now we have a side that's completely flush. Okay, that means we're making progress. And that means we just have one more algorithm to do until we're completely done. So I imagine a lot of you probably joined in on this step. Okay, so if you joined in on this step, what you do is you want to make sure that the organized side is facing away from you. All right. So we're going to do the exact same thing again. Actually, I should say sometimes when you have this completely flush, sometimes it'll take 2 steps. In this case, it'll only take 1. But if you have a completely organized back side like this, and then you just have 3 edge pieces that still need to be matched, you'll either have to do the algorithm I did once or twice, but either way, you're going to get to the solve state. So let's go ahead and do it. Look at that, completely solved. I really hope you're able to follow this, and if you weren't, you know, you can always download my app. That'll always help you, CubeSnap, where you just take a picture and it'll give you solving instructions. But I really hope you're able to kind of learn yourself here with my tutorial. If you have any questions, please write comments. Okay, goodbye.